let's begin our numerical section. We have 2 or 3 questions for today's video. Now let's start with the first question. So the first question is, you have to calculate domestic income and national income. Now here are the things given. We have to calculate the domestic and national income. Let's start with the domestic income. Now, what is domestic income? Domestic income is NDP FC. You all know that? Now, is there any aggregate given? Aggregate. Yes, aggregate is given, which is GDP MP. Now, with the help of GDP MP, you can calculate the value of NDP FC. Now, let's see the differences. Gross and net. Domestic and domestic, market price and factor cost. So, there are two things which we have to convert. This gross to net and market price to factor cost. Now, to convert gross value into net value, what do we do? To convert gross value into net value, we depreciate. We deduct the depreciation. Now, to convert market price into factor cost, we deduct NIT, net indirect taxes. Is that clear? Now let's put down the values. GDP MP is equal to 70,150. What is the depreciation? Wage depreciation. Consumption of fixed capital is also known as depreciation. So the value of depreciation will be 3,100. Now, net indirect taxes. Are there any net indirect taxes? No. But the components of net indirect taxes are there, which is indirect taxes minus subsidies. Indirect taxes are 5,200 minus subsidies 4,000. Is that clear? Now, let's calculate the value of NDP FC. The value of NDP FC is 65,850 crores. Is that clear? After calculating the value of domestic income, let's calculate the value of national income. National income. What is national income? National income is NNPFC. Now we have to calculate the value of NNPFC. And we have already got the value of NDPFC, so we can use the NDPFC to calculate the NNPFC. Now, what to do? What are the differences? Just national and domestic. Just a single difference. So, to convert domestic value into national value, to domestic to national, what do? We add the net factor income from abroad. Now, let's put down the value. NDPFC, that is 65,850 crore. And what is NFIA? NFIA, net factor income from abroad? No. But the components are given, which is factor income from abroad minus factor income to abroad. Received minus paid, which is from abroad, which is 800, and to abroad is 300. Now, we can get the NFIA, which is 65,850 plus 500. Value of NNPFC will be 66,350 crore rupees. So this is your national income. This is your second part of answer. Is that clear, students? Okay. Now let's move to the second question. Let's do the next question. The second question for this video is, Calculate indirect taxes. Now students, in such cases where the aggregate is not given but a component of those aggregate is asked, then we have to put two aggregates which are given already in the LHS and RHS. Now let's see the two aggregates. Where are the two aggregates? One is NDPFC and one is GNPMP. So let's start the question. We have to calculate the indirect taxes. Now first let's put GNPMP at LHS and NDPFC at the RHS. Now let's suppose we have to convert NDPFC into GNPMP. Now what we have to do? We have to convert net into gross value. Net into gross value. We have to add the depreciation. Now we have to convert this domestic into national. What we have to do? Domestic into national. We have to add NFIA. Net factor income from abroad. We have to convert this factor cost into market price. Factor cost into market price. We have to add NIT. Net indirect taxes. Now let's put down the values. GNPMP is equal to 58,350. Value of NDPFC, that is 55,950, plus depreciation. Consumption of fixed capital is also known as depreciation, which is 1625, plus NFIA. NFIA is not given completely, but the components are given, which are factor income from abroad minus factor income to abroad. Factor income from abroad 625 minus factor income to abroad, that is 865, plus NIT. NIT, only subsidies are given and we have to calculate the indirect taxes. So we will write like this: indirect taxes minus subsidies is 1540. Now we have put the values. Now we can write it as indirect taxes is equal to 58350 minus 55915 minus 1625, plus we have to 240 and the minus 1540. Now students, I hope you all can calculate the value. Let's calculate it. Calculated the value, the answer will be rupees 2590. So this will be your value of indirect taxes. I hope you have understood this question also. Is that clear? Fine. The last numerical for today's video is the net domestic product of market price. The net domestic product at market price of an economy is rupees 4500 crore. The capital stock is worth rupees 4000 and it depreciates at the rate of 10% per annum. The indirect taxes are 150 crore, subsidies are 200 crores, factor income from rest of the world is 400 crore and to rest of the world is 600 crore. You have to calculate the gross national product at factor cost. You have to calculate this amount, which is GNPFC. Now students, find out, is there any other aggregate with the help of we can calculate the GNPFC? Yes, it's in the starting, that is net domestic product. NDP at MP. With the help of NDPMP we can calculate the GNPFC. Now first of all, I need to convert net into gross. Net value into gross, we have to add from net to gross we have to add the depreciation. Now to convert domestic value into national value, domestic to net, we need to add the NFIA, net factor income from abroad, and from market price to factor cost, we need to deduct the net indirect taxes. Is that clear? Now let's put down the values. NDPMP, that is rupees 4500 plus depreciation. Depreciation is 10% of 4000. NFIA. NFIA is not given directly, but its components are given, which is 400 and 600. 400 minus 600. 400 is received from, that's why it's written here, and paid to abroad is 600. Now NIT, indirect taxes are given 150 and the subsidies are given 20. Now we can calculate the value of GNPFC. Now students, start calculating it. 4500 plus 10% of 4000, which is 400, plus minus 200 and minus 130. I hope you all can calculate the value of GNPFC now. Value of GNPFC is equal to rupees 4570 crores. Is that clear? That's your answer. I hope all these questions are very clear to all of you. Now in the next turn, we will start with the measurement of national income. So that's all for today, and that's all for this video. Stay home, stay safe.